Hi guys, it's Mary and it is Thursday at 1 o'clock, which means it is time for a YouTube video tutorial. I hope you've got a few minutes to spend with me today. I've got a fun fold card. Say that 2 or 3 times fast, a fun fold card, and I think you'll mess it up. I mean, I know I will. So I hope your week is going well, and hopefully we'll get through this before the storms come. I never really quite trust the internet when it's storming, and we've had kind of a pattern of that happening every single day now. So let us go ahead and get started. I've made a fun fold today. It's one of my favorite folds, really. It's a double easel card. And hey, Barbara, and I used the new coming on the 4th of August, which is like what, Tuesday of next week, I think. I've used the In the Pines bundle, and it's got this really wonderful stamp set. If you guys know me at all, you know I'm a big fan of things with pines and pine cones. Hi, Judy. Hi, Debbie. Appreciate you joining me today. This stamp set is actually bundled with a beautiful die set called Pine Woods, and it's really wonderful. The dies kind of go together. This one is a large tree that cuts a detailed image, and then it has an outline image as well. So you get you get a solid piece and a detailed piece, like so. Detailed piece, solid piece. You can tell because this is solid and this is detailed. And it's got a small version, and then you can also make some snow drifts. So very fun. I enjoy it. And I also, because I was having fun with it last week, I also pulled my moose punch back out, and we've got a moose walking through the woods. And it's kind of a snowy night. When this sits up like so, I won't show you down because you can't really see it, but if you look at it like this, you can see it's an easel card, and when you look at it, you get kind of a moonlight. That's a moon, in case you couldn't tell, a moon against a starry night with the moose walking through the winter woods. Okay, and then on the inside, I just stamped a second sentiment and some of the little trees. I love this set. I can tell it's going to be a favorite. Stampin' Up, please carry it through. Hey, Kathy, gonna be hot, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Amy. Hi, Faith. Appreciate you joining. Yes, I did that last week, Faith. I went to Facebook first, and I was like, why isn't this working? Hey, Daryl. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Pam. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Stacy from South Florida, where I'll bet it's just so cool and chilly there, right? No. All right, we're going to get started. I'm not going to lie, this one has gone through a few iterations as I tried to get it looking how I wanted it, and now I'm quite happy with it. So I'm going to set it up like that just because I like looking at it. I do love a double easel. You can see why it's called a double easel, but part of it is it's on a basic A2 card, and then you just have an easel front attached. So your card front is the easel itself. All right. Okay, let's get started. I've done a lot of the cutting ahead of time, so that's a good thing. I've even done some gluing ahead of time, also a good thing, because otherwise we'd be here until the 12th of never. We are going to start with our score tool, our scoreboard here, and do a little bit of scoring. First, I have a 4 1/4 by 11. Well, I'm going to have to get my little score tool. Here we go. 4 1/4 by 11 piece of soft suede for the card base. Remember, it's a regular A2, so we're just going to score it and fold it at 5 1/2. And I'll get that burnished in just a second. And then the easel portion itself is a piece of Night of Navy, and it's 4 inches by 10 1/2. Hey, Susan, appreciate you joining. Hi, Karen. Hi, Sylvia. Appreciate you coming today. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the long side across the top of our board, and I'm going to score it first at 5 1/4 and then at 7 7/8, just like that. And bing bada boom, that is all we need Mr. Scoreboard for. Okay, so now I'm going to fold these and burnish them. And burnish them with my bone folder. Here we go. Now remember what I have said, especially when doing a fun fold where you're making things move, it's important that you make things fold straight. Even if you maybe didn't get the world's best score, make it fold straight. Okay, you will be happier in the long run, I can assure you. Okay, so for our decorations, this is all for the inside, so we're going to set it aside for just 1 second. I have some of the, I don't want to say new because it's a returning DSP. This is the Brightly Gleaming Specialty DSP from the August through December mini catalog. And we're going to use it as our card front. Actually, it's our Starry Night. Ha ha ha. Our Starry Night. Starry, Starry Night. All right. Now, if you guys don't still have some of this paper, even if you do, my catalog shares are still open through the 2nd. So you've still got time to get in. You can get the I Want It All, where you get some paper and some of the embellishments, or you can pick just the embellishments or just the paper. Personally, I think just the paper and the embellishments is the best way to go because you get a little bit of everything. Okay, so now I'm going to take a smaller piece and adhere it to the front of the easel. This is all with liquid glue. All right. I really had fun with this. This actually started when I made the card to start with. I called it a day with, wait, let me put this on before my glue dries just a minute. I was getting ready to yak. And I don't need to yak, I need to make card. Yes, create card, create card. Okay, so when I first made this, I had this, the moon, and I had this front scene. And I thought, geez, that looks a little boring. So I made 2 more trees and put them on. And then I thought, geez, that doesn't look quite right. So then I made another snowdrift and put it on, and then all of a sudden, bada boom, it was exactly how I wanted it. So you guys can just go straight to the finished product here. All right. Okay, so let's call that good. Now, speaking of snowdrifts, I've got a few that I've already cut. We're not going to adhere them yet because that would be premature at best. But really all they are is pieces of Whisper White that are as wide as my card front. And then you use the 2 snowdrift dies from the Pinewood set and make snowdrifts. Hello, very, very easy. Okay, so before I get going, let's go ahead and put, before I make an error in my ways, not that that has ever happened. You guys have never seen me make a mistake. Don't even try to say you have, because it's of course not true. I never make an error, ever. Okay, first we're going to, stop laughing, you guys. Come on. I know, Kathy, that's just how I am. I'm that kind of person. That is just who I am. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to stack 2 pieces, 2 drifts together, like so, for our front. And so I'm going to put my sentiment here, and then I'm going to stamp some snow squiggles in some stamped off Night of Navy. So let's go ahead, and I'm starting with Season's Greetings. You know, I'm going to tell you, normally I'm not a Season's Greetings person. I'm a Merry Christmas kind of person, but I like this as just more of a, maybe you're just sending it in the winter, you know, just a winter card that says, I'm thinking of you, because that's what it says on the inside. So I was okay with Season's Greetings, but normally you will see me with Merry Christmas cards. All right, so let's go ahead and put Season's Greetings right there in Night of Navy ink, like so. Isn't that a pretty font? I love that font. And we'll put Mr. Knight, well, we won't put Mr. Knight of Navy. We're going to find our little snowdrifts. You see the snowdrifts? You can tell that's snowdrifts because of, you know, it's going to be on snow. So I am stamping my Night of Navy off twice and then stamping my snow. Okay, so stamp off twice and stamp the snow. Just like that. Okay. And if you want to get all fancy, you can turn the snow over like that. And then let's see, where did my inside snow go? My little piece of snow. Oh, snow. There we go. Here's the big little piece of snow. And I just put, do you see what I just did? I put the greeting on the wrong, I mean, of all the mistakes I could make, that one was easy to fix. But you can see how it's gone today. Is this Monday? So what I'm doing is I'm starting fresh because this is the one that goes in the front. And so that's where the greeting ought to be, because that's not going to be right. You won't be able to see it. So let's go ahead and put this on. Again, Season's Greetings, take 2. In Night of Navy. There we go. That was just practice. I know. And I did it twice in a row. Okay. Now we'll put a few more snowdrifts on this one. Again with Stamped Off Twice. Like so. Okay, y'all, keep your fingers crossed that that is the only mistake I make today. I am fairly certain it won't be, because that's just not how I go, but it could happen. Okay, now we're going to put Night of Navy, cover him up before I have a terrible, terrible error. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this snowdrift onto this snowdrift with dimensionals. All right. Like so. I love these cards because it's such a great opportunity to make little scenes, a little bit of scenery. You know, I probably ought to be a set person. I could make fake trees over at Pinewood Studios. I've got it on my brain right now because I just got a thing in the mail for they've got their Pinewood Studios cafeteria is now open to the public. I don't know if that's good or not, but, you know, it could be a thing. You know, you could be in there eating a cafeteria hamburger and Robert Downey Jr. could walk in. It could happen. Do not say it couldn't, because it could. Now, it's possible Robert Downey Jr. doesn't eat in the cafeteria with all the rest of the peons, but it's also possible he does. It could happen. Okay, now I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere this to my front. The little boot footprints. The little boot footprints. Judy, you were yelling wrong piece. Well, I didn't hear you. You needed to yell louder. Louder. Like I said, of all the mistakes I could make, I'm glad it was that one, because that one was pretty easy to recover from. Now I'm just putting that at the bottom of my easel. Just putting that at the bottom of my easel like that. See how we're going? It's just building into this beautiful, beautiful scene. Okay, and I've made some trees. And I did keep one tree so that you could see the incredibly difficult thing this is. I'm going to adhere one of the detailed trees to a solid tree. Now look here. If you wanted a snowier season, I told you I've done multiple iterations of this, you could take the detailed tree, I would snip off the trunk like I've done here, in Whisper White, and then you could have a snowy scene like that, right? But I decided it was that kind of a night where the snow is still on the ground, but not on the trees, and it's my scene, and so I can do it just like that. Just like home, no one hears a word I say. If a woman talks in her home and there's no one to hear her, has she really said anything? Yes, see, I don't know. I get you, I feel you. Hey, Brenda, I appreciate you joining and thank you so much. But when I got done with it finally, I was very happy with it. But for some reason, I mean, I'm kind of the queen of overthinking stuff. There's no doubt about that. But this one I really overthought. I think it's because I just started making a card without thinking it through, which only sometimes works for me. Okay, so we're just adhering those together like that, and then we'll lay out our scene. And I'm going to use my moon, which so far is just a piece of Whisper White that has been cut out with one of my layering circle dies. I'm going to lay him on so that I can kind of see how the scene is going to unfold. Scenes unfold, see? Okay. And let's see, we're going to have a small tree in the back, like that. And a big tree in the back, like that. And then we'll have a big tree here, and we'll have a small tree there. And then we're going to have Mr. Moose walking through the woods. He's a walking through the woods and I don't know why I'm singing. And I stuck his little feet behind that front drift because I wanted it to look like he was, well, further back and walking through the snow. See? Like that. And then we'll put this last dude right here, like so. Oh yes, oh yes. Yes, I like it a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these pieces. And we're gonna use some liquid glue just on the bottom. Hi Karen, appreciate you joining. Thank you, Daryl. I know, this die cut set is really cool. Okay, I'm just putting glue on the bottom part of the tree and sliding it behind that drift and keeping it up about there and kind of make him straight because he could be a cockamamie tree, but this one isn't. Okay, and now we'll do the same. Let's pick this little dude up. We'll do the same with Mr. Moose. Mr. Moose. I desperately wanted to use a gold hoop on this, and I moved it and I played with it and I tried to shove it in and I couldn't, and I finally just said, you know, it's the gods of crafting are telling you that doesn't belong on this card. So stop trying to force it. And so I did. I stopped. All right, there he is. We'll put this little guy in. These really are quite easy little cards to make, which is fun. And it's another one of those ones that falls under the guise of looks really hard, is really impressive to the people who get it, and only you have to know how easy it was. And then we're just going to put this guy on the front drift like that. And actually, I'm going to move him just a little bit like that. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to pick this up out of the way. And we'll pick these dudes up. I wanted to make my moon look a little bit less like... Well, thank you, Susan. They're taking their midday naps. Who's taking their midday naps, Rosie? I'm lost. Okay, so I wanted to make my white circle look more like a moon and less like a white circle. So I took some Night of Navy on a sponge dauber, and I mean, this dude, I'll tell you how dry this is. This was used to sponge Night of Navy, I can't even tell you how many weeks ago. And I didn't put any more Night of Navy on it. So it's really, really dry. It's just been sitting in my dauber doohickey. Okay, and so I'm just really kind of just going over the surface of the moon like that. Just like that. Can you see it? It's your little moon. It's a happy little moon. And by it being so very, very dry, you really, really save yourself the likelihood of getting any smears. Okay? And so I'm telling you, you maybe can't see it by the camera, but it totally looks like a moon now. Totally looks like a moon. I mean, we're talking total moon. Oh, Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Jeans. Really? Again? Again? Ugh. Okay, now I'm going to adhere my moon to the back of the scene with some liquid glue. And if I had worked on making a man in the moon, I would probably make him hunched over. But since really all I have is some amorphous craters, that's not really required. All right, and now I'm going to take my other piece of snow. Remember, I made another piece of snow. And it's going to look like this. But first, I'm going to put some snow squiggles on it. I'm going to close my liquid glue. And I'm going to find my Night of Navy. Hey, Charlotte. Appreciate you joining, and thank you so much. And we're going to stamp off twice and just do some snow squiggles here like this. You guys, I wanted to make sure that y'all saw I'm opening an online host club. I've had some people want in, and so I've got a space or two. If you're interested, let me know, because it starts in August, which is like, oh, I don't know, tomorrow. Okay, so let me know if you're interested. You know what? I just saw a gap, a squiggle gap. Let me fix the squiggle gap. Please let me know. It's a great way to gather up peppermints, peppermint reward points, which means you can earn a $40 free gift really fast. You get double rewards points when you're in an online club. And it's really going to put you in a very nice position for the current mini that comes out on the 4th. It will also, you'll also be part of the club when the 2021 January through June mini comes out, and for 2021 celebration. Just throwing that out there for your consideration. All right, now I'm going to pick this up a little bit because I want to slide this small tree under that drift. So we'll move him over a little bit like that. There we go. Bring this up to be sure that's where I want it. Up a little bit. I'll put a little more glue here, like that. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the bigger tree that I've made. And we'll put him on with dimensionals. Never one to miss an opportunity to use dimensionals. You should not either. Anyway, if you're interested in an online host club, I'd be happy to answer any questions. So give me a holler and let me know, and we'll get you hooked up. Bonus days are also winding down, folks. So this is the time to be gathering up those $5 coupons. $50 purchase. Okay, so I'm just kind of checking with my scene here and moving it all over the place when I finally get where I want it. There we go. And we'll just set that down with the dimensionals. Bing, bada boom, bada bang. And because I have them and because I like them, I am going to put, oh, thank you, Judy. Thumbs up would be lovely. Thumbs up would be lovely. I'm going to put a star designer element right there. Now, unlike what I did before, I'm going to remember to adhere this to its little card, its mat, and I have not cut my final piece, or if I have, I put it away somewhere in a fit of cleaning, which teaches you a very strong lesson. Never clean. Cleaning is bad. Cleaning is like, you know, it's like when I hear people say, well, I was out running and on my 17th mile, I fell and broke my ankle. Hello, don't run 17 miles, just saying. Don't run at all. Walk, don't run. Okay, so I'm cutting this at, and I have forgotten, I'm cutting this at 4 by 5 1/4, I do believe, but let me make double certainly sure. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. All right. I always like to make one error or 12 in a video. That way you guys know that if I can do it, anybody can. Just saying. Also, it gives you the opportunity to watch me cut cardstock, and we know that's some exciting stuff right there. Okay. So, funny story, while I was putting these together, hey Jolene, thanks for joining. Cleaning is massively overrated, Susan. While I was putting it together, I was using my my repositionable stuff to kind of just put it in place so that I could see if what I had come up with I liked, and I could stand it up like it was a fold. And I got it all done and getting ready to set it on in place for the video, and it fell apart, and I was like, oh, I guess I actually need to adhere the stuff together. Just, you know, throwing it out there. So don't forget, if you do something like that, remember to actually adhere it all together. All right, I'm going to adhere my easel to a crumb cake mat. And yes, of course, it's a little easier to do this before you've decorated, but not a requirement. And we'll put that on like so. Now, I'm going to show you a little something, something. You can see that the easel itself is a little bit longer than the mat, and that's fine. Just get a good mat distance up on the top and the side. And then when you put it on the card base, you're going to do the same. And that's going to have the easel hang over the bottom of the mat just a little bit. And I think it ends up helping it stand up a little better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this because I'm here now and talking about it, and my glue bottle was open. So let's do that. Were you guys excited to see the brightly gleaming come back? I was. I think it's such pretty paper with the copper and the Night of Navy. Really, really pretty paper. It's fun. It's so fun. It's so fun. And y'all, just so you know, this bundle right here is part of my special bundle called the Winter Bundle. So if you are interested in that and save, you know, maybe 15% or so on all of those goodies to make winter cards, please get in touch with me and we'll get you set up. Okay, so now my inner liner, I am double matting on Night of Navy and Crumb Cake so that it sort of mirrors the front. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp the second sentiment from In the Pines. Yes, it's beautiful, beautiful paper. It sure is. I'm going to stamp the second sentiment, which is not Season's Greetings. It's Thinking of You. And I'm just going to put it in the middle of my Whisper White cardstock, like a so. Okay, look at that. I did it. And then I'm going to stamp some trees, because you always got to stamp trees. If you have stamps for trees, you should stamp trees. I'm just throwing it out there. So this is the little 3 tree images, but if you'll notice, it's 1, 2, 3 large trees and then a small tree for 4th. But the way they have cut this is that tree self-fills. It's a self-filling tree, which is like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but different. So you stamp this and then you're gonna fill with the watercolory. It's kind of a watercolory image and it's only got 3 trees. So don't freak out, they go together. Or you could just do them, you know, on their own if you wanted. Okay, so I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. And we're just going to put this right here at the bottom. And that one didn't come out so great, but it's all right. And then let's see, let me put my, let's put it on the front of our, this is an envelope, yes. Front of our Whisper White medium envelope. Making sure I'm putting it in the front bottom corner and not up where my stamp would go. All right. There, that's a much more better. And then we're going to use the fill image. And the way the stamp is designed, you don't even need to stamp off. It'll just fill it perfectly. And we'll go ahead and give it a push. See? And it's kind of a watercolor effect. So don't be thinking it's supposed to be perfect. It's not. It's supposed to look like watercolor, which is why I'm not getting too head up by the fact that I made a very not so great stamped image here. We'll see what happens when I put in the fill. All right. Oh, and I think it's perfectly fine. I'll take it. I'm going to take it. Now I'm going to put some snow squiggles on, and then we're going to be just about done. Hey, Maria, appreciate you joining. Had to get the ink off my fingers there before I got it in places I just didn't want it, like anywhere. And some snow squiggles. And stamped off twice, Night of Navy. Like that. And on our envelope. I love this set. I really do. I mean, even something as simple as that, it's perfect snow squiggles. I mean, they really are perfect snow squiggles. All right, now we'll go ahead and mat up our inner liner and get it into our card, and we'll be done-ski. All right, here we go. You know, I have got Dimensional covers, they go everywhere. I know I've said that before, but I'm saying it again because I can, and it's my video. So I'm saying it again because it really is a thing. They go everywhere. My friend Jan, who is taking up this hobby, doesn't realize that she is about to be overrun by dimensional covers. She is, and she has dogs, and so she's going to learn the joys of having her dog come up to her to say hi and having a dimensional cover right on the front of her schnoozle. It'll probably be her Aussie too, so the picture, if she took a picture, would look just like Finn with the cover on his schnoozle. Okay, and now into our card base, and then we're going to add a single star, and the card will be done. I love this card. I do love this card. Okay, here we go. And I got a little bit jiggy with the glue, so we'll wipe that off. Okay, close this, and I'm going to stick one Star Designer element right there, like so. And it's important when you do that that you stick it down and then you go, huh, like that. Otherwise, it's not at all right. There we go, people. I wish you could see it. I wish you could, but can you? There. That's kind of how it would look when it's sitting on the table. You'll be able to see the pictures tomorrow on my blog, along with all the card cuts and everything. All right, let's go ahead and put a little bit more of the DSP on our flapper. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Kathy. I think you need the bundle because it is a very good set. You know me, I do love a good pine tree. Oh, this one right here, this die, this is a negative cutter outer. So you would take a piece of cardstock and cut it out of the middle, and then it would leave a stylized tree with these holes, if you will. And so then you could put something behind it, like a piece of, in fact, I'll show it to you in just a half second if you want to see it. Hang on. Let me get this done. You know me and my bunnies, I can find a bunny quicker than I can think. And then I go sideways and I forget what I'm doing. Thank you, Rosie. Thanks, Judy. Appreciate you. Thanks, Pam and Maria. All right, and we're just cutting this off. Okay, and that, as they say in the industry, is that. Now, let me show you what this die set does, what this little die right here does. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out of a piece of Mossy Meadow, and then I'll put a piece of Whisper White behind it, and you can see how it looks. Push those out. See how it did? Where it leaves the tree in the cardstock, and you get rid of your hanging chads. See how I know my pop culture? Hanging chads. And then if you put it against some white, how pretty would that be? And I would absolutely pop it up like so. And you could have that just be your card front, very straight up. You could even do that, yeah. I was gonna say you could do it out of a piece of DSP, which you absolutely could, but you wanna be careful because otherwise you lose the kind of simpleness of how pretty that tree image is. Isn't that nice? I love it. Love it. And of course, don't forget also what is part of this kind of theme is the amazing and wonderful Evergreen Forest embossing folder, which is also part of my special bundle in the winter. Look at that. This is another thing I tried really hard to make work, but embossing my Starry Night with this, I just don't think would have worked so good. And I ended up being quite happy with what I ended up with. So there you go. There it is, people, in the Pines bundle. Please pick it up. coming on the 4th, or select my In the Winter bundle and I will order it for you on the 4th, and you will get a nice little savings and a bunch of other fun things with. Okay guys, I will be back with you on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my Facebook page. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Today and tomorrow are your last days to collect bonus days coupons. Just saying. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.